Hello and welcome back to the IRTV studio at Internet Retailing Expo 2018. Now, I just grabbed Andy, fresh from chairing one of our theatres, and I just want to have a quick chat with him about the work we're looking at on skills in particular. So, Andy, for anyone who missed your chairing today, do you want to just tell us a bit about you, Novus and Biss Henderson, please?
A little bit about myself and Biss Henderson. So we are an executive recruitment business, and we're also a consulting business in the logistics and supply chain space. Specifically though, our major agenda at the moment is around how we get more skills and more talent, particularly young talent, into the industry at a time when the e-commerce world and the digital revolution is really exploding, and the whole logistical challenge that we have now is providing world-class solutions for fulfillment and e-commerce, home delivery, and certainly that last mile solution.
Yes, and when we first started talking about this last year, there's a recognition that our marketing colleagues, our brand colleagues, are making ever more demanding promises, and then the operational capability of the business to deliver repeatedly at scale. The impact of digital is now throughout everywhere in the business rather than just the front end. But the skills is still a big area. So what are the challenges of bringing new people in, especially on the operations and logistics side? Is it lack of people, lack of the right skills? What are the skills challenges that the industry is facing?
Well, I think the main skills challenges that we really have is that because the logistics and supply chain sector has traditionally been seen as not a very sexy, engaging industry, and there's not been able to provide some of the opportunities that young people coming out of university, schools and colleges really want from their workplace. It's the best kept secret. Organisations you relying on logistics and supply chain to deliver their customer proposition and deliver the customer experience, both on the final mile but also on reverse logistics as well. As it's grown, of course, it's crossed boundaries, it's globalisation, it's about delivering exacting promises around delivery proposition, and of course technology and the use of technology is hugely important. And unfortunately the challenges we have is that we're not getting enough bright young people into the sector who have got that digital appreciation and that appreciation of technology and the use of technology.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting with technology because on the one hand you have the scare stories about jobs being lost and replaced by robots, but yet on the other the move away from an engineering approach to a software approach means you have more modularity, more flexibility. There's more of a change, a pace within the operation side of the business that 20 years ago didn't exist. I mean, the renewal cycle's getting faster, the modularity is increasing. I mean, it is a very exciting area in which to work.
It is, and I think it's been driven in large part by customer proposition and customer expectation. Organisations now are providing later and later cut-off times, midnight cut-off times for a next day delivery, which clearly is driving a whole solution and the requirement for solutions behind that.
Yeah.
Use of technology is absolutely paramount, and I think the sector now is becoming far more aware of the whole big data debate and predictive analytics and how we predict what consumers' requirements for delivery are going to be for the future. It's not enough now to expect that a customer is going to want to sit in at home, wait for a delivery sometime in the morning or the afternoon. They want it same day, they want it when they want it, and they want it room of choice delivery if it's a large ticket item.
And you mentioned data. Of course, the other customer that's emerged is an internal customer. So as people are working more and more across silos with colleagues in commercial parts of the business, then the logistics side is more and more visible within the business even than it's ever been before as well.
It is, and I think if you go at the top of the chain in terms of the boardroom now, supply chain and logistics is now being represented at more and more retail boardrooms. The retailers particularly are understanding that they can have a real point of difference by providing a world-class fulfillment solution, a world-class delivery proposition. And in fact, actually, if you have an organisation like John Lewis, for instance, that is selling multiple brands, albeit in a bricks and mortar solution, but also on a digital solution, then actually, to be fair, to differentiate them from other retailers like Amazon and AO online, the delivery proposition and the returns proposition actually becomes a point of difference, which people like John Lewis are starting to exploit.
And so, John Lewis is a good example. In fact, we had a number of visitors at the expo from their graduate program. And so what's interesting there is that within the graduate intake, they're spending time looking at logistics rather than just starting customer facing. So I think that's very positive. But one other part of skills that we need to cover is once you've got the people, how do you maintain and grow their skills? So it's not only lifelong learning for those new people, but as we're seeing in the big retailers, e-commerce people now need to learn about operations and logistics, and logistics people need to learn about digital capabilities for this career path that may be over decades. So what are you seeing in the lifelong learning, career development arena?
So I think a lot of larger organisations now who are running graduate schemes for young people are providing in the first year to 18 months fairly structured graduate management training schemes that incorporate all parts of retail, whether it be online or bricks and mortar, sales and marketing, finance, but also supply chain and logistics, because it is true to see that the supply chain function is becoming the heartblood, the beating heart of any organisation in terms of matching what customers' expectations are to what the corporate believe they can deliver.
Yeah. But would you see that those graduate schemes get replicated as you move through your career? Maybe senior management development or maintaining skills, even if you've settled in one part of the business?
I don't believe they are. I think, if I'm honest, we spend a lot of time with young people through graduate schemes that we run, educating young people around their own personal development pathway. Organisations do have formal PDPs, personal development pathways, and personal development plans, but it's down to the young people really to develop them themselves, understand where their skills gaps are, and work with their organisations to fill those skills gaps. And I think if you're looking at the millennials that are now coming into organisations, I mean, I was doing a presentation earlier, in 2025, 75% of the workforce will be millennials. That is individuals born after 1981, who are extremely tech savvy, who are entrepreneurial, who want to work for organisations that are culturally offering a lot to the outside world from an environmental perspective, diversity perspective, are doing the right thing by charities. So it's not for young people and their personal development, it's not necessarily all about working for big brands. They want to work for those organisations that are culturally aligned
and for organisations who in turn invest in their staff to keep them interested and skilled. So look, incredibly interesting, maybe not often covered enough, area that really is, as well as the technology and the process, is the people that's going to deliver for retailers and brands in the coming decades. So we're really pleased. We're working with Andy and his team on a series of mini white papers where throughout the year we're going to be researching, doing case studies, and just looking underneath the idea of how the very best retailers are planning for skills, not just at the intake level, but throughout the career, in order to deliver the retail experiences our customers demand. So Andy, we'll be hearing a lot more. I'm going to let you get back to your chairing duties for the rest of IRX. Thanks for taking time out of lunch to join us. Do look at the link below for the white paper details and to join in with the surveys. Thanks. Andy, great seeing you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Okay.